He is Hank Azaria. Good to see you, Hank. How are you?
Rich, nice to be
Remember
here.
that day when we're sitting there in the New York studios of DirecTV?
Sure. That was chapter 27 of 18 more to come of DeflateGate.
It was just beginning that day. It really was,
I'm pretty happy we can put that in our rearview mirror.
Are you, though?
Oh, yeah. Didn't that get boring to you?
Well, very, very. But that does mean that the Patriots are without Tom Brady for 4 games. For a Jet fan, I imagine that is...
Win-win. Fantastic.
Except, though, I don't know if you noticed, that in the 4 games that Brady will be sitting, the Patriots have 2 home games, 2 against AFC East opponents, none of them the Jets.
Listen, beggars can't be choosers in this situation. It's kind of all's well that ends well. It is an amazingly baffling. I'm looking forward to 5-10 years from now when somebody can look back and actually, the way things get 20/20 in hindsight.
Yes.
And just really break down what the hell happened
Well,
here.
what do you think 10 years from now will it come up with more information about what we don't know right now?
Yeah, I'm interested in the real motivations behind what everybody was doing here, like the real politics going on. I mean, you get the feeling that the NFL and Goodell didn't like. My impression is once Brady started defending it so hard and doing things like throwing out his phone and going out of his way like that, they got like, wait a minute, that's too far. It seemed to get personal at some point.
And then there's somebody that was talking to the media as well.
Yeah.
That was feeding misinformation out there that 11 of the 12 footballs
in the
was
lead up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, because that's the way this whole thing started.
Right.
The date, because there would have been no Wells report for us to share with each other, Hank, forevermore, if there wasn't that big, huge furor
Right.
that the NFL, rightfully at the time, put into a box and put away so that it wasn't discussed during the Super Bowl in the form of an independent investigation that then just simmered beneath the surface until that very fateful day when you showed up on my show in New York City.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, that's the other thing it seems like the spirit of this is correct, meaning like the NFL saying to the Patriots, all right, enough already with the cheating and seeming like you're singled out and favored by everybody.
Yeah.
But in specific, was this worth getting so crazy over? No. But then they overreacted on their end, and then on and on and on.
And then it just became about something other than a ball deflation scheme. It became about power, and now here we are with Tom Brady missing the first 4 games. What do you think the Patriots are going to go without him? At Arizona, home for Miami, short week, home Thursday night against the Texans, who may not have J.J. Watt, and then home for Rex and the Bills. Those are the 4 without Brady.
They'll at least win one of those. I don't know how is Garoppolo, is that?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. It depends on him, right?
Yeah.
But Belichick, you got to figure they're good for 2 wins there. The Patriots, they usually start a little slow, don't they? Usually even with Brady?
They sometimes, with Tom, can be on the road and be put into a tough spot, like, say, Arizona. But more often than not, Brockman, they usually come out of the gates somewhat galloping in that regard.
Yeah, the best they've done in any of the Super Bowl years was 2-2.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They usually not. They gain speed as they go. I think it's part of Belichick. He knows not to. I think he eases into the season
before they move on to Cincinnati and then start beating the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
In that regard. Hank Azaria here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think of the Jets with Ryan Fitzpatrick making everybody nervous, and now he's in? What do you think the Jets season
Another
could be?
fascinating little situation that I'm curious what the actual story was. I mean, it seemed like we talked about this a little bit a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
That nobody had anything to lose by not blinking. Nobody was calling up Ryan Fitzpatrick, so the Jets could just stand pat, and Ryan kind of knew that the Jets had no other options either. So, and I read somewhere that it seemed like it was Foles' availability that might have finally tipped Fitzpatrick over into saying, all right, let's make a deal here.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Jets had an option all of a sudden.
Yes, and which hadn't been true all preseason. But I don't know. I'm glad as a Jet fan, we're all glad it worked out.
But what do you think? Another 10 wins? Do you think that's a possibility here? What do you got for
Absolutely a possibility. Why not? I mean, how do you think Forte is going to do?
He's 30. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
How did he do last year? Chris, how did he do last year? Was he hurt a lot last year?
He was only hurt for a couple of games, but normally he doesn't miss a snap.
Right.
Normally he doesn't miss a snap. Look, it's now or never, really. Or
there's no quarterback on the horizon.
This is, well, What did you think of Christian Hackenberg being chosen 51st overall?
I don't know a lot about it, but to me that just feels like we're just rolling dice now. Like it's better than not having anybody in the pipeline. I mean, and obviously they feel like maybe he has potential. I'm very curious how Petty and he will turn out. Who knows, right?
I know. Well, the reason why I'm bringing that up too is my bearded one over there, Chris Law, is a Penn State guy who is compiling a list of people who are denigrating Christian Hackenberg at
doubters.
The 51st overall selection. I'm on the list.
I mean, you think he was taken too high or something?
No question about it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.